What's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler, and today is day number 17 of my 32 straight days previewing the 32 NFL teams ahead of the 2020 NFL season. If you haven't watched the first half, that's right, the first half of my previews, they are down below in the description in a full playlist form. Watch them before you watch this video, watch them after, I don't care. As long as you watch them, leave your feedback, I would highly appreciate it. In this episode, we'll be looking at the now Las Vegas Raiders, who were the Oakland Raiders. They were once the LA Raiders many years ago. Now they're going to Las Vegas. And the Raiders are one of the NFL's most entertaining teams, although their performance in recent years has not been great. And last season was no exception, as they went 7-9 their final year in Oakland. And part of the Raiders' allure has to do with Al Davis, who up until his death in 2011 embodied the persona of his team more than any other owner, in my personal opinion, arguably probably one of the best figures in NFL history, in my personal opinion. The 2020 version of this Raiders squad has that guy who embodies the Raiders persona, and that is Jon Gruden, their head coach. He's just a fiery human being. If you've ever watched him on the sidelines, mic'd up, listening to him, or even saw him in the Monday Night Football booth at ESPN, you can just tell that he has a certain passion, and I think it fits well with the swagger in the black hole for Raiders fans and just what they're trying to do. They'll open up that new stadium in Las Vegas, which looks insane. So fans should be excited, although they won't be able to attend games in the 2020 season. They should be excited for what's to come. And general manager Mike Mayock, that he and Gruden have started to build a team that might compete. It probably won't compete this year, but in 2, 3, 4 years, watch out for the Raiders. Derek Carr might not be the quarterback of the future for the Raiders, but he is a guy for right now that can get to the Raiders to the playoffs if things go well. He's got some nice pieces around him with guys like Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Tyrell Williams, and their first overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, Henry Ruggs III out of Alabama. He was taken, I believe he was the 12th overall pick, ahead of guys like CeeDee Lamb and his teammate Jerry Jeudy at Alabama. Ruggs, he embodies the Raiders' persona of being able to run downfield and catch passes. He's a speedy guy, probably not the best receiver in this class. Definitely wasn't, in my opinion. But he could take the top off some defenses. And that will be interesting because Carr has not been known for throwing the ball deep down the field. So it'll be interesting to see, will he be throwing the ball a lot? Will Ruggs struggle because he has a limited route tree, according to some experts, heading when the draft process was going on. And he really is only good at going deep down the field. The one other thing that concerns me with Ruggs, he played on a team with Jerry Jeudy, who was arguably the best wide receiver in all of football, college football last season, as well as some other really good passing options, and had a great quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. And now he is going into a Raiders team who still has a solid quarterback in Derek Carr. Darren Waller is a solid tight end. Tyrell Williams up and down at best. So Ruggs will get a lot more attention. Will he thrive or not live up to those hype expectations of him? One big thing that is the Raiders' downfall, in my opinion, is their defense, especially in an AFC West where there are some high-power offenses. Clearly, Farrell was a questionable pick, 4th overall in 2019. Damon Arnett in this year's draft was a questionable selection ahead of some other cornerbacks that were highly touted. Arnett, not as much. Both guys might have awesome careers, but it is slightly concerning, and it leads me to wonder, what is Mike Mayock and Jon Gruden doing? Because they're going to have to slow down offenses like the Chiefs and the Broncos, who look to be good this year, and the Chargers, who look to be good for the next few years. Gruden, for being as much of an offensive mind that he is, he's going to have to focus more on defense to do something to compete with those high-powered offenses. Because if the Raiders get off to a slow start offensively in games, they're going to need their defense to step up, or otherwise they'll have no chance in winning a lot of games this season. And personally, I don't think the Raiders are going to win a lot of games this year. Looking at their full schedule, which will be down below in the description with my win-loss projection records, I only have this team winning twice. I have them beating the Chargers one time and beating the Jets week 13. But they start out at Carolina. That is a possible winnable game. I just don't think they will, being that they will be on the road. They'll play New Orleans to open up their new stadium, at New England versus Buffalo, at Kansas City. So a stretch of 4 straight weeks after week 1 versus Carolina where I don't even see them having a chance at winning. Carolina, they could possibly win. It's up in the air. They have their bye week 6, so they'll finish the year off 11 straight games. So that's a tough one for me as well, a tough pill, because a lot of games in a row Could be tough on the bodies for these guys. I know they're trained to do this week in and week out, but still, the high-impact game that is football, 11 games in a row, can be tough. Week 7, they'll come out of their bye, play at home versus Tampa Bay. We know that Jon Gruden and Tom Brady have their history against one another, so that should be an interesting one. Week 8, they go to Cleveland. Week 9, they go to the Chargers. That game, I don't have much faith in them winning, so they'll start out 0-9, 0-10 versus the Broncos at home. Week 11, take on the Chiefs at home, and then Week 12, they'll take on Atlanta on the road. So looking at their first 12 weeks prior to when I think they'll win their first game, Week 13 versus the Jets, it's just they play some really tough offenses. The Saints, they played the Chiefs twice. They played the Patriots, which look to be good. So that's 4 right there. The Buccaneers, the Browns, the Broncos, and the Falcons. That's 8 teams right there that have offenses that look to be really good. And then the other teams on that list, Carolina, they got the best running back in all football, arguably, in Christian McCaffrey. Buffalo, they got a solid offense with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, not one to mess around with. And then the Chargers, Week 9, they have some solid pieces there as well. Depends on who the quarterback is, but they still got Keenan Allen, they still got Mike Williams, they still got Hunter Henry, they got Austin Eckler. And given how poorly this defense projects of the Raiders, I don't have much faith in them slowing down these offenses, barring a major injury to their opponent. Week 13 at the Jets, I do have the Raiders winning their first game, so they won't go winless like the Browns did a couple years ago or the Lions in 2008. So plus there, I guess, you get to beat the Jets. Week 14, they take on the Colts. That is a game they possibly could win, especially since that's at home. I don't have a whole lot of faith because I like the Colts a little bit this year. I'm not super high on them by any means if you watch my preview for that team. But they have the opportunity to win there. Week 15 versus the Chargers at home. That's where I think they'll pick up their second win late in the year at home. Gruden might be fighting for some job security. And maybe he gets me. Gruden, by the way, he's still got 7 more years of that contract, including this upcoming season. So I don't think he's going anywhere, but who knows? He might think he's on the hot seat and might want to win a game late in the year. Week 16 versus Miami. That's another game where I think they possibly could win depending on who's starting. If it's Tua Tagovailoa, I think the odds do go up versus Ryan Fitzpatrick, just given the fact that Fitzpatrick has more experience in the NFL. And Tagovailoa probably will be probably like his 10th start or whatever in the league. So Gruden can take advantage of that. And then finally, Week 17, they go to Denver to take on the Broncos. I mean, that's a game the Broncos are probably going to need a win to make the playoffs. So I don't see the Raiders having much chance. The only way I do see them winning is if the Broncos are resting players. That's the only way. So overall, 2-14, not great. Beating the Chargers, like I mentioned, in Week 15, and beating the Jets in Week 13. Overall, there are 5 games, however, that I am excited for. Week 2 versus Saints, the opening of their new stadium. And who knows, maybe the Raiders, they show something that means that they could compete this season and they're not building for 2022, 2023, 2024, whatever. Week 5 versus Kansas City, I mean, a division game against a high-powered offense like the Chiefs. Another test for this young defense to see what they can do. Week 7 at the Buccaneers, Buccaneers at the Raiders, like I mentioned. Gruden and Brady, they have their history. Week 15 at the Chargers, I see the Raiders winning this game. Or versus the Chargers, excuse me, I keep getting that mixed up. Raiders winning this game, so obviously, who's not going to want to watch? And the Chargers, they're going to be the rivals for the Raiders in years to come, because I don't think the Chiefs dynasty is going to last forever. Eventually, they're going to fall off. And the Broncos, they might fall off as well. So the Chargers and the Raiders, with some nice young teams, might be able to build up. Week 17 at the Broncos, another division game that means a lot for the future of this division. Who knows there? Overall, I think the thing with the Raiders, they'll probably have another bad year. They just can't mess up their draft pick in 2021, wherever it falls. And I mean their entire draft, because they need a lot of pieces, especially on defense, to continue building for the future. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Will the Raiders continue to improve? Will Jon Gruden be the coach at the end of the year? Where do you think their stance? Is Derek Carr the future quarterback of this team? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. Next episode, we'll be looking at the LA Chargers, who are a very interesting team entering 2020. So thank you all so much once again for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.